So now let's look at low volatility, where the premium has been sucked out and a lot of that value of the butterfly has already been used up. So now there's just a little left. And there is a large amount of risk in terms of the cost of that butterfly. That amount from the zero line all the way down here is the risk or debit of the butterfly. So now you can see there's a big difference. Okay. So there you go. Now you're seeing why there's less risk, a lot more profit potential, and high volatility. So from an options trader's point of view, high volatility is much better to trade in than low volatility, because low volatility, there's less premium available to collect and much more risk. Huge, stark difference. Now, if you're a smart trader, you're going to look at that situation and say, I like to trade with a certain size, and if my size doesn't vary, then something else has to vary in order for me to trade it. So you'll find that in high volatility times, you can put on a much larger fly because it costs you less than you can in low volatility times. You have to get a narrower fly because it costs so much more because of the added risk, the added cost. So that's how we adjust to keep approximately the same amount of risk that we put on, or the same position size. And in high volatility, it gives us much wider flies and more potential. And in low volatility, it gives us narrower flies and less potential, but the same cost. So that's what we do. That's why we change the width of butterflies. Makes sense, right? Low volatility, we go narrow. High volatility, we go wide. And there's another aspect to this that is really cool, and that is the sensitivity to price, the delta, or the rate of change of that delta, the gamma. And that is the shape of that profit curve. You'll notice that on high volatility, it's really flat. And in low volatility, it's really bulbous. So when there's price movement back and forth in low volatility, you're getting a lot of price change. But in high volatility, because it's flat, you don't get much price change. So not only is it less risky in high volatility, but it's easier to be in the trade itself. You are not really risking all that much. It is more comfortable. Price moves and it doesn't change, and the value doesn't change that much. You don't feel like you're getting knocked out of the trade. In low volatility, it's exactly the opposite, and that's the unintuitive part. You would think in low volatility, it should be easy, but it isn't. In fact, in low volatility, from an option trader's point of view, it's much more difficult because that sensitivity to price movement, the amount of risk for the amount of profit are all working against me, and it's harder. I have to trade smaller to get about the same. It's just crazy. Kind of sucks. And sometimes we have long periods of low volatility and it can be a real drag on you. And then we just get elated when we have high volatility. It's almost the exact opposite of someone who's trading stocks, because they don't like high volatility in stocks or futures. They like low volatility. But actually most pro traders still like high volatility even without the options premium and stuff. But from the options trader's point of view, absolutely, we love high volatility, we hate low volatility, all right? So that's why we change the width of our flies. So important. That is also known as risk-adjusted returns. We try to keep the same risk on, right? And then we adjust the trade to allow us to keep that same risk. See, our goal is to put on a trade that costs us a certain amount of money and has a certain risk to reward. And so this phenomenon forces us to go narrow and trade more cautiously in low volatility than in high volatility. In high volatility, we can unloosen our pants and just let it go, right? Unloosen the belt and let it go.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you're interested in having the tools you need to become a profitable zero DTE trader, check out the link in the description. Take care, guys.